Go. Hi. We are Geeks Assembled, and this is our
Ninth.
ninth episode of the series 12, Doctor Who. And we would like to thank you for joining us, and please stay tuned because this is only the penultimate episode of the series. And I mean, it's a doozy. It's got so much going on, and there is heightened tension, but it is the second out of three, a trilogy series of episodes, and so in that respect there may be some things lacking, but I'm going to let these fine individuals that came to podcast with me tell me what they think of this. It's the Ascension of the Cybermen. And apparently our leader, Lee, he actually wrote this thing, what was it, 10 years ago, 5 years ago? Anyway, a while ago. And with his
I think more like 30.
Kate Green, anyway. So let's go, since Alex has got his mic open. What's your opening thoughts?
Well, this is really a first part of a two-parter, even though it loosely connects to last week's episode with the Lone Cyberman in, and we all love that episode. And this episode is a really solid first part to a two-parter, and I thought it had everything that you needed, and it built up throughout. It completely built up. I love it when they go to the Cyberman ship. I'm like thinking, that's such a bad idea. Don't go on board that ship.
Don't go into the basement, people.
Don't go into the damn ship.
Don't go into the
I mean,
Don't go into the damn ship.
They kind of had no choice.
Shock?
Yeah, but they kind of had no choice because they were going to die. They were going to run out of oxygen. So what were they going to do? Were they going to suffocate to death, or were they going to get to that ship and have some sort of chance? So they had to do it, but yeah, it was still, you just knew what was on that ship. And the new Cybermen are brilliant. Yeah, it's a really good, it's a really good first part. It doesn't let up in any way. It builds as it goes along. And hopefully next week will be eventful.
Yeah, I think it will be.
But I do have some criticisms. Well, one criticism.
Okay, well,
we'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's pop over to Pennsylvania, and Susan, what's your opening thoughts, please?
I don't really know what to make of this episode, to be honest, because of all the things Alan just said. It's really difficult. It's almost like I think we should review two-parters in one session because it's really hard to do that. But yeah, it was overall, it was good. It's an awful lot of red shirts. I mean, the dichotomy of the 19, it looked like a World War I area guy who became a policeman and then died. It turns out, is he the lone Cyberman? I mean, they didn't tell us anything about it. They just had this thing. But it was really weird when the two guys came back, his father and the policeman, from when they were young. And this guy was like 80, and all of a sudden they tortured him. And just got rid of his memory. So that whole part of the plot line, we don't know what that is. I think he must be the lone Cyberman, but I don't really understand. And I mean, it was fun with companions. I mean, hello, people. There's Cybermen coming. Stop freaking arguing with the doctor and just get on the damn ship. Just that was my point of view.
Just go.
Oh, can I just add something else as well, Susan?
I need a sedative. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Sure.
This is gonna be interesting.
No, this is gonna get Susan excited now. So
Ooh.
beware, people.
Oh God, what's gonna happen?
This episode reminded me of Earthshock meets The Last Jedi meets Stargate.
A
It was a
bit.
bit Stargatey.
A bit.
A little bit Stargatey with the ship
yeah.
going through.
With-
And I
with-
just thought, oh, Stargate.
Doctor as Sam and Graham as Daniel Jackson, and
Slightly
this is
Stargatey.
exactly.
A little stargating, yeah. But
Yeah, I
Earthshock,
love
that's-
that. I love it. It's a little bit Stargate.
Right,
Earthshock
right.
when the companion dies, the obnoxious young boy dies.
Adric.
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 Is that Earthshock? Is that Earthshock?
Yeah,
That's
Earthshock. Yeah,
Yes.
Earthshock. Yeah.
And what
Yeah,
was
There
the
was
other
a
one?
lot of visually.
Earthshock.
There was a lot of
Was
callbacks to Earthshock. Visually.
Right, because of the ship full of Cybermen.
Yep. And when they walked
What was the
storming
third
down, you
one?
know.
What was the third one you said, Alan?
The Last Jedi. It reminded me a
talking
little bit of The
about-
Last Jedi with the old man and and that little tent houses. Yeah.
Oh, because like
Oh.
okay, like
A bit like Luke
Luke-
hiding himself away, you know,
Oh,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
All right. So, Mikey, what's your opening thoughts, please?
Oh God. Let's just say I had to watch the episode the second time because literally I didn't know what was the plot was going on. I had to like to try to write my review for this, but you know, it was kind of complicated. It turned out to be a good opener for like a two-parter, but there was things that were confusing me a little bit. Gallifrey is somehow back. The Master somehow got out of the from Spyball, and I don't know. There were just so many questions that I couldn't get to respond. Also, to the guy who was playing Brendan or what? Brendan? I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. The guy who was turned into a
yeah,
Cyberman,
Brendan.
because I've been because
he's a
I've been
Cyberman.
getting a feeling like because I was like getting a weird feeling that like this dude has to be the guy who got into a Cyberman.
Well,
I
that's
feel
what
like
I agree that might be true, but we don't know for
I
sure
don't
yet.
know because. All right. Go on.
because then again, everyone was still arguing of what was going on. I'm like, just get on with it. Just get on with it. No arguing. You have lives to be living. You're gonna get killed by Cybermen. But it was damn intense. I'm not gonna lie. I do love the episode. I hope all the questions that we have will be answered in the next episode.
Yeah, I hate
That's
when
what
they
I
do
hope.
that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like when they put out anything random and they don't have any answers in the next couple episodes, unless if they're gonna make it like official.
This is a two-parter.
in- I know.
It'll be
That's the
answered.
thing.
It'll all be answered in the next part.
Let's hope.
I hope.
Or will it?
Yeah, well, yeah, well, yeah.
Because he's got
He's
the
already said it well.
Alan. He said he had a 5-year plan. So I mean,
Yeah,
will
but
he?
he's already said it will be answered. What
Oh,
you
alright.
want answering will be answered, but you'll just have more questions as to why afterwards.
Okay.
So you'll get your answers. You'll just have
So
more
let's
questions.
bebop back across the pond to Jake, and what's your opening thoughts, mate?
Like Susan and Mikey, I had to watch it twice. I didn't really enjoy it the first time I watched it. When I sat down and watched it again, I really enjoyed it. That being said, I had a few gripes with it, but I'll talk about them later. I loved the Cybermen on the ship. It was so dark and atmospheric. Very much like Earthshock, but not as good. But I did really enjoy it. That bit at the end, they would come running, marching and shooting everyone. But obviously we know they're not going to die because the new trailer they've just released. But yeah, nice little surprise at the end. But this whole Brendan thing, that thing they put on his head at the end, hardly anyone's mentioning it, was a chameleon arch.
That's what I was wondering, but I
Because
couldn't tell.
Could have been a chameleon arch, or it could have been a cyber converter.
No, I'll
There has to be something.
I'll tell you why it's a
They're
chameleon
very
arch.
similar.
Because that whole light and effect it had was the exact same thing Tennant had when he used the chameleon arch in Human Nature.
To become human, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah.
And he had the clock as well, the tick, 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 as it was happening. So that's why I think all of those people where they were are Time Lords, but they all think they're human because they're under this perception filter caused by a chameleon arch. And when they reach a certain age, they make them Time Lords again. I don't know why. Perhaps it'll be explained next week. Perhaps
Maybe that's what happened with Ace.
they're all hiding from the Cybermen because of what happens in the finale. We've made them all human. And yes,
I would love it if Ace came back in this very moment. Yeah, so that's a good point.
Yeah, I'll talk about what I didn't like later.
Yeah,
What if Ace is going to come back? That's the question.
Yeah.
They
That's
mentioned
what Susan just said.
It's one of a million questions. I think Susan could come back too. I was thinking that one lady looked a bit like her, the one who escapes with them on the cyber ship.
I've got so many favorite moments though.
Okay. Alex, what's your opening thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they know that they've heard complaints, and yeah, unfortunately you can't copyright a title. So I mean, they had to make this, like they did with the 9th Doctor and the 10th Doctor and the 11th Doctor. You have to make it, very scary, very fast. It'll be interesting to see what they rewrite. As we know, every producer, every showrunner does a different thing, and we'll have to see what strategy they use because season 13 is coming, or not coming, but they have to write it so that you can see it again in 2021 or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see how they write it out. As we know, what's his name? Ryan has signed up for an American TV show, so I'm willing to bet that he'll be written out of the series.
Jesus, Susan.
we're getting dads out here.
So okay, I agree. I was scared. It was way intense. It was way scary. I was impressed. I mean, I'm not opposed to hiding out behind this love seat here. This is the kind of show that I mean, it was pretty dang epic, and it's just starting to. And I had questions about Brendan. I had questions about like the whole Irish thing. That was interesting, and the Cybermen, the lone Cyberman. He did he end up becoming did Brendan end up becoming the lone Cyberman? Is it a Gallifreyan Cyberman? Is it a Time Lord Cyberman? I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, we got no idea.
We got
no idea going on.
These are tough questions. So, yeah,
but that's what makes it good. That makes it exciting. Wondering what's going on.
The fact that these steps that they took to get to the ship and do all that, they were really, really scary. And then they opened a portal. This one guy, he controlled a portal. I guess what Alan was saying, like a Stargate.
Minded me of Stargate.
Instantaneous travel between point A and point B. I mean, wow. Anyway, so lots of good stuff going on, and lots of fear built up. So like that was fun. That was quite a ride. For your favorite moments, let's flip the order backwards. Here's Alex. What's your favorite moments?
Well, again, they seem to set up a lot of peril, a lot of danger, and then the spoilers came in, so we'll see. Yeah. So we'll see what the strategy is. We'll see, if there really is a resolution or if they're going to have it as a cliffhanger for our next series or whatever. Because
I hope not.
Yeah, because obviously they want to have some buzz. So the best thing to do would either have a really good ending or have an ending that you have to tune in next year. Although
No.
I don't know if they'll do a special. Oh, so Alan,
No,
Alan
no,
believes he
no,
knows.
and there is a special, by the way. There is one.
Oh, so then
There is a
yeah,
special, but
so
I'm
then-
not waiting until next year on a cliffhanger.
yeah. So they'll have to resolve it then. So we'll see what the resolution is.
And okay, let's go to who is next. Jake, then.
I want to put something out quickly before I go into my favourite moments and what I'd change. The whole of them being Irish, everyone's talked about on Twitter. There was a gag that carried on through quite a few 70s Tom Baker stories. Whenever he said, "I'm from Gallifrey," someone would turn around and go, "Oh, is that a place in Ireland?"
Yeah.
That's why I think that whole place is Gallifrey and they're all disguised Time Lords. Anyway, favourite moments. Let's think. I liked the Cyberman bits, as I said. I actually felt worried about the companions at the end. I thought, blimey, that's good writing, because I didn't give a fuck about them for the rest of the series. So, anyway, it was a good part one of a finale. Is it the best I've ever seen? No. Do I prefer other parts of part ones of finales? Yes, but bits I had changes. I did not like those bloody Cybermen heads that were drones. I thought it was so stupid. It'd have been good if they latched onto.
Come
people.
on, I'm going to defend them, and I will tell you why. Because hold on. Yes, it was a little bit goofy, but Doctor Who is sometimes goofy. Russell T Davies did it many times with Mickey being eaten by a bin. Moffat did it so many times. At the end of the day, Doctor Who is goofy sometimes, and it needs that little bit of silliness. It always
All
does.
right. Let him
I
finish.
always defend that with
What I would
Doctor
have
Who.
changed about that, though, instead of having them fly around shooting lasers out of their eyes, they should have latched onto people's heads and make them like like proper like I don't know, control them.
No, I think that would be. How would
another
they?
bit I would change. Do you know when they're in
Too
the
awkward.
spaceship and all the debris hitting them? Just imagine like if she looked, there's like all cybermats crawling over their ship trying to get in. It missed cybermats. That's what I was thinking watching.
Oh, yeah, they could have
so good if
totally
they're all
done that.
If they're all hiding in the building,
Uh-huh.
cybermats come running through the window and swarming over people and stuff.
Couldn't figure out why the
Yeah.
buildings died there.
That would be
weird.
so good if they had swarms of cybermats swarming over people and like converting them or something. Like they showed that they're all like Cybermen underneath after they'd done it all. That'd have been so good. I'd have rather have had swarms of cybermats than the flying Cybermen heads because I think it'd have made it much more.
Can I just say
scary.
it's still better than flying Cybermen?
Yeah.
No, I like the flying Cybermen.
No.
Raise the heads.
Cybermen should never ever fly. I
Exactly.
absolutely hate it. It doesn't work.
It's just a throw to Iron Man.
Yeah,
at
that's
that
what I don't
point.
like about it. It's not Iron Man,
Yeah.
though, is it?
No, I
Iron
know
Man.
it isn't, but that's the throw.
Anyway, that's what
You
I
just
thought.
some things inform other things in fandoms. It just you can't help it. There's tons of crossover,
Who was
cross
next?
pollination. The next one's Mikey.
Okay.
Yo, I heard my name being summoned.
Yeah. Favorite moments.
Alright. You know what? There was actually good favorite moments. Some of the moments were boring, but some of them were very intense. I do say, I'm gonna keep talking about Graham no matter what. I love Graham.
Okay,
He's
let's move
wholesome.
on.
So, no, Graham in the episode made a reference to I am the doctor, but he changed the subject so quickly. It was so funny. It was so like,
He was.
are you
Sassy.
saying you're a Time Lord? But the real moments were that the doctor was being so serious to the companions because it was so intense that the doctor didn't want to lose anyone again due to the Cyberman and all the other things that he or she had to deal with. It was very intense. I was like, okay, I understand how you feel, so tell them to run away, go with the other people. But the But the most that got my attention were the Cybermen itself. The Cybermen itself. They did a good job, not gonna lie, mixing up some of the classic styles of the classic Who and the new Who.
Yeah,
That raised in my attention. I'm like, what in the
And they
name
got
of hell?
spikes now.
Did they they got spikes? Oh god. Okay,
You haven't
now
seen
that
them on the
I'm
shoulder?
adding that to the list.
On the
The
shoulder, they got
shoulder.
spikes.
Oh
Look,
damn.
look.
I mean
I don't see spikes.
Yeah,
they
spikes
went
on the
so
shoulder.
emo. Oh my god.
You see it?
No.
Oh god.
It's not really
Yeah, that
spikes, it's kind of
damn. I
triangle.
didn't know they went that far, but I love the design. I loved it. I loved it a lot.
It's based on
Also, I love the
medieval
new
armor.
Yeah, I know. But I do love the new characters. They were interesting at first hands. Not gonna lie, they got my attention because I had a weird, eerie feeling that they were not normal. I feel like they were saying they were human, quote unquote human, a school teacher, a kid, a nurse, or something. I don't know, but I feel like it wasn't right. I feel
Yeah,
like
but
they were
that's
something
what they
else.
think,
There's
but they're really Time Lords.
but
yeah, that's the thing. I've been
wouldn't
thinking about.
wouldn't it be cool if those were their Time Lord names? School teacher,
The
nurse,
school
and
teacher.
That would be just interesting. Seeing
The
the
bus
teacher,
driver.
the nurse.
The bus driver.
Oh,
Literally.
that's a good point, Susan.
That'll be just a good topic to discuss if that's going to be like a future episode or a future series
That's
thing.
cool.
But
The bin man.
the most very important part about this was Gallifrey and the Master. I didn't expect
Yeah, that
Gallifrey
was
to come back
incredible.
again.
Oh,
I know
come
this
off
is the
it.
Well, look, I
We
have to
all
be
knew that
honest.
was coming.
Yeah, I know. You know it was coming, but Gallifrey was my attention because remember
that
in
was coming from episode 1.
part 1 or 2, I think, that they mentioned that everything you know was a lie, and the Master had a reason to destroy Gallifrey. And I hope he explains it in the next episode because I'm surprised that he got out of the thingy.
Yeah, but that's what the
happened to
Master
him.
does. That happened in the classic series where the Master never explains.
If the Master can survive being burnt to death in the 80s, he can
Yeah.
survive being trapped in an alternate dimension.
Damn, I know. The Master
Yeah.
can do anything. You can't stop him. He's on.
Yeah, but he could have easily got out of
But
there
yeah.
because the Doctor easily got out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so
I'd be
easy to get out
surprised.
of there. It was such an the
Just
Doctor
steal
did
a
it as well.
TARDIS.
Well,
Darn right.
no,
just steal a TARDIS.
well, get those creatures
Just
to
run
get him
away.
out. You know, those
The
light.
Master also has more than one TARDIS.
Oh
that's
yeah, that's
true.
right. The Master did had a couple TARDISes. That's a thing for another day.
Is
But
that all your
anyways,
favorite moments?
that's all of it.
Alex,
Those are like all of my favorite
just
moments.
hold on. Let him finish.
I do have to say this. All of those moments, they were very interesting. But I can't wait for the next episode to get more of my attention.
Okay.
Literally, I had to rewatch this episode again. But you know,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've come to the end of your favorite moments. Susie, what's your favorite moments, please?
Favorite moments? I don't know. I don't know favorite moments. I thought
Anything you didn't like?
always, but I thought that the I thought that when the kid died, when he got, I mean, Chibnall, holy Broadchurch Batman. I mean, they shot the guy and he fell off the cliff and ended up on the beach. Did none of you see Broadchurch?
Yeah, I saw Broadchurch.
No.
Broadchurch was the thing
The
that
kid
Chibnall
getting
last.
killed and thrown off the cliff on
Right,
the
but David Tennant was in it, and
Yeah,
Jodie
yeah. I
Foster,
remember.
whatever Jodie's name is, was in it. Jodie Whittaker, and that's how she got the doctor, because she was working on this. And the whole plot of Broadchurch was this guy got thrown off of a cliff and died. So when I saw that, I'm like, that's the same freaking cliff. So that was weird, but I liked it. But it was very interesting when he didn't die. He's got to be the last Cyberman. So that was kind of cool. Thank you for saying that the woman in the thing looked a little like me. I'll take it. And she was, I don't know their names, but the guy, what did I write down? The guy on the planet where they visited, I kept waiting for the killer rabbits to come out.
What?
He looked like he looked he looked like the old dude at the end of Monty Python. On the
Are you
Holy
talking
Grail.
about Tim? Are you speaking
No.
about Tim?
Yes, I'm talking about Tim. But the guy, the guy at the planet with the cape and the cane, he looked, I kept waiting for the killer rabbits to jump out of this hole in the sky and kill everybody. So Susan gets it. Do you people not watch Monty Python? Alan, I'm ashamed of you.
We've already reviewed the whole Monty Python series. Please don't worry. But the funny thing is that you're picked up on all of that. It's amazing. Anything you change, come on, lay it out there.
Well, no, seriously, I really think that I would change that. They just needed to get all three of them should have gone on the ship. I don't understand what's going on with that. And it's just, I would have taken away a couple of the placeholder episodes of this season, and I would have stretched out the whole story from the Jadoon to the end of the season over like 4 or 5 episodes. And I think that it's just, they gave us one great episode this season in the Jadoon, and now we have to wait until the last one to get the, and so it's like there was one big 2-parter with a bunch of placeholders in between. And that's what I would change. But no, this was the very first part of a 2-part episode, like everybody's been saying. So it's kind of hard to rate it and have a full opinion because it's not over.
I don't think so, Susie. I think it's like the middle of a trilogy, actually, because so much of this was informed by last episode. Anyway,
Okay.
that's just my opinion. You guys have your own opinion, but that's mine. Okay.
Valid.
So my favorite moments were the portal. I liked the cyber ship. I thought that was really cool, and I liked the moments where they're setting up the tools. The little gold thing, the thing that disrupts their emotion suppressor. I mean, those things were like, big time accurate responses to Cybermen technology.
Which is why you knew they would.
Well, I didn't know that they'd reference gold because in Moffat's time, they apparently got past that.
Yeah.
But in this, they the doctor's like, no, there's still a vulnerability there, and there's still a vulnerability to emotions. After Mr. Clever overcame the emotional thing in the Cybermen, I thought that response of his wasn't necessary. And so, I mean, it was enjoyable. And let's see, I also thought that the cyberheads were funny, but and I could see where Jake wanted the cybermats. That would have been freaking wild and cool because they look like little mouses from computers from a few years ago or whatever. And so, I mean, the intimacy that could be to things around us, it's really fun. And I enjoyed it. I know why they split up the companions always. They do it every single episode in Big Finish, especially with the 5th Doctor, because you get so many companions. I call it dad skills with Peter Davison, because I mean he's got all these companions, and this fam is so much like Davison's TARDIS team anyway, that they just split them up. They get them going different directions so that they can each have their own story, and they can parallel edit between them. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I was scared, proper scared. Wanted to hide out behind this love seat. Anyway, let's open the floor.
Well, hold on. I'm having my favourite moments now.
I thought you already had your favorite moment.
No,
no,
wait,
I
did he
haven't.
did his favorite
No,
moment?
I'm
No,
sorry,
I
I
have
jumped
not.
ahead of you. Alad, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Faithful,
Go
jump in
ahead,
and follow
please.
me.
Please
Right.
do your favorite moments.
So I really liked that the equipment got destroyed because you never want it too easy. It shouldn't be too easy. So the fact that the Cybermen destroyed the equipment was really good. I like the reference to gold, and I did like the Cybermen heads because they were goofy, and it's all right to have a bit of goofiness.
Sure.
When they got split off, I thought that's definitely Ryan dead, and then he finds the doctor, and then I
Yeah.
thought, oh damn, it would have been it would have been so great if he got killed then, just wham. So that is
Yeah.
a minor complaint, is that nobody died. But then I remembered, hold on, it makes no difference because they can just go to the extraction chamber and bring the companions back to life. So I thought, well, it doesn't really matter if anybody dies because Jodie can just save them. I mean, she saved Clara. Why wouldn't she save these lot?
I don't think she's as crazy as the other
No,
one.
I think she would. No, I think she would. So I loved them getting split off. I loved it when Yaz realized they were all in the, when they're in the ship and she looked out the window and then there's all these floating Cybermen. I thought that was great. Do you know what I thought they were going to do? Is have the Cybermen attack the ship. Suddenly
thought so
wake
too.
up. I thought, oh my God, that would have been really creepy if they were just, you could just hear them banging, actually banging to get in.
Do you know what would have made that scene better?
Yeah.
Because this war has been going on for so many centuries, if it had like all different variations of Cybermen floating around, because it was even mentioned in Revenge of the Cybermen. So let's imagine if she wiped that and it says the Revenge Cyberman looking at her, and that, got Earthshock Cybermen banging on a Mondasian original one. It'd been really good if that would have happened. That all these different models of Cybermen attacking.
Yeah.
Like a
That'll
bit
be
like
screaming a lot of
zombie,
classic.
bit like Day of the Dead, like attacking, trying to get in.
Well, what I also liked is when they got to the ship, on the Cyberman ship, I just loved the whole of that. Having all those Cybermen, those cyber warriors were brilliant. The scenes with the lone Cyberman and Jodie were great. Their interaction together. The only thing I didn't like, and I thought, hang on a minute, this is a cop-out. This is Chibnall. You shouldn't really go to the well twice and play the same trick twice.
What's
And
that?
that trick was the cliffhanger, because the cliffhanger was basically just Spyfall.
Cliffhanger. Yeah.
That's all it was. The reveal of the Master and the reveal that Gallifrey's destroyed. You've already
Yep.
done that one. We
Yep.
know that. You added
Just brought it
nothing
back.
new to that cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a cheat, really, because we learned nothing new in that
But
on that cliffhanger. And
Didn't we
he'd already done
learn?
it.
Didn't we learn that the humans could go to Gallifrey? That they could walk right through that portal?
Well, yeah, but that's it. I mean, basically the Master was the cliffhanger, but he'd already done that in episode 1. Oh, everything's going to change. Well, we know that because we were told that in episode 1 and 2. So
Right.
he kind of pulled the same trick twice.
Yeah.
Which really, if he wanted to have a character reveal, it should have been somebody else and not the Master.
Is it okay if I put something out here?
No.
Well, come on. I thought
go
of
on,
something.
what is it?
Just hang on. Just let Alad finish, please.
Yeah. No, but
Okay.
that's what I mean. I mean, he kind of pulled the same trick twice with the Master being the big reveal. But you'd already had the Master as the big reveal in episode 1. I would have liked it if it ended on a real big shocking cliffhanger. And to me the cliffhanger wasn't shocking because what? Oh, the Master's back and Gallifrey's destroyed. Well, we knew the Gallifrey was destroyed because we'd seen that. It was nothing new. Yeah, you've got this portal added into it, but I thought the cliffhanger could have been better. Yeah. Does anybody else agree, or is it just me?
Well,
Maybe it's just me. And I just thought,
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's a good opening question for our just opening the floor. So please go ahead, answer Alan's question and pose
So
your
what was
own
the question
questions.
again?
Whether
Oh,
or not it was a
did you-
cheap reveal.
yeah, did you
Well-
feel disappointed by the cliffhanger? Did you think it was just basically what we knew in Skyfall?
Well, it was kind of a mixture.
No,
but
Spyfall. Sorry,
then again,
not Skyfall.
not Spyfall. You mean you got
Spyfall.
me
Yeah.
confused, but yeah, I'm not that disappointed, but I've been knowing this because the master did say everything you know was a lie, and something will come to eventually. So I know there was something going on with the master, and basically this is not a disappointment in my opinion. It just got my interest up to find out what's going on and how they're gonna take this, like with the Cybermen trying to get to Gallifrey or whatever, and finding out what are they gonna do, what's their plans, what's their
Didn't
motives.
they already go? I mean, isn't that why?
A lot of them have.
Who was in the war with the Cybermen? Was the Time Lords?
Well, they said that this barrier, it sent humans different, it opened different places each time. Earlier in the episode.
Yes, they did, didn't they? Yeah, different places each time.
It
Yeah,
didn't
I've got
always
that.
open to Gallifrey. It opened different times, and that's why the humans had a chance of surviving. You never knew where they were going to go. But this
Yeah.
whole thing with the humans all going through, it reminds me so much of John Sims' Masters episode, where they got the humans from the end of the time frame to come back and be the bad guys. Remember in those little round
Oh, the
things that-
Toclophane.
Yeah, those things.
It reminds me very much of that. That the humans are coming back and, I don't know, maybe they're founding the Time Lords. I wrote these things down. So it reminds me of that. I find the timeline very confusing. I can't tell where exactly we are. Of course, it's Doctor Who, so how could you ever tell? But the whole weird top of the Cyberman to the modern Cyberman bottom is kind of freaking me out because I don't know where we are. It's kind of annoying me. I loved the cyber drones. I did not think they were goofy. I thought they were scary. I thought that was cool because we've never seen them fly like that before. The Cybermats never flew. Only, the stupid weather-changing Cybermen flew. But not the Cybermen. I thought they were cool, but I did not understand why they didn't follow them into. I figured maybe they couldn't follow them into the building because the person who was, maybe they were actually drones where people had to guide them. Cybermen were guiding them.
Yeah.
They couldn't see inside the building. I don't know. I couldn't figure that one out. And the last thing I wanted to say was, yeah, the reveal of all the Cybermen coming out of the things. I mean, come on. Every single Cyber episode, you have to have a reveal where the entire army of Cybermen come out and step out.
Yeah, all the way from Tomb of the Cybermen. Yep, you're right.
I want to make a point
every
about
single
what you said.
Cyber episode has to have that big troop reveal at some point, and that was kind of cool. I kept watching it when she was going to push it. I was yelling at the screen, "Don't push it! Don't push it!"
Oh yeah. She's
It's like, don't go in the basement.
yeah, the woman off Benidorm was my favorite character.
What was her name?
I'm just going to call her the Rani because
She
would
was
make a great
in the
Rani.
Sarah Jane Adventures too. She played a villain in the Sarah Jane Adventures.
She was my favorite character. Her chemistry with Graham was great. I loved her with Graham.
Oh yeah, she was flirting with
Yeah,
him.
they got a bit of chemistry there.
I think Yaz's character kept foreshadowing Graham's death. Oh, you've changed so much, right? Yes. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah, they're not going to die though.
They're not going to die.
No, because they can be pulled out of death. They can be pulled. I'm sorry, you can't get rid of that.
How do you know?
Moffat put that in. Moffat put that in the Time Lord's control.
Gallifrey's destroyed. Maybe the chamber doesn't exist.
It's
anymore.
irrelevant. The Doctor can go to a future Gallifrey and pull the amount of death.
Okay, which leads to one more question. Didn't we already establish in this season that she can call the TARDIS to her? Wasn't
Yeah.
there an episode where she called the TARDIS to her? So why in God's name couldn't she do it this time other than it made for a better plot?
I think it's a thing. The TARDIS doesn't do certain things if it knows it's in a dangerous position. Like it's like in Empress of Mars when they knew something was happening, the TARDIS dematerialized itself. It's a defense mechanism. It does. It won't move if it knows it's going to go into trouble. If that makes sense.
It couldn't just come and materialize around them all and take them away in the next second and be safe. This is what I mean.
But I don't like it when they do that because that's a get out of jail free card.
Okay,
it shouldn't be that easy. That's too easy. No.
Julie Graham played Ravio. Ian McElhenry played Coach Zarmos.
Yeah.
And Patrick O'Kane played Assad. Alex Austin played Yedlarmi. And Stephen Toussaint played Fikat. And then, let me see.
I've got so many questions.
Did you just say Ian McKellen played Tim?
Ian McKellen? No, wasn't Ian McKellen.
Sorry,
Oh, Jake, you said you were disappointed with the cliffhanger. Do you want to elaborate
I
on
was
that?
disappointed, but I reckon they could have done something a little bit not so obvious because everybody knew the Master was going to come back. It was so obvious. I'd have liked Joe Martin's Doctor to come back at the end as well.
That's what I thought. It would have been better if she appeared through the portal.
She's got to show up in the next episode.
Yeah. Well, there is someone crying in the trailer, and it does look a little bit like Joe Martin, just slightly. But then again, I thought the bloke looked like Captain Jack in this episode.
Everybody's saying Captain Jack's in this. Look, we can see him.
Captain Jack!
And it's like, no, he's not. Look, Chibnall said he's not.
But he said he would be there when she needed him.
When Chibnall says no, it's a no.
About the lone Cyberman. It makes no sense that it was Jack who said it then. If he's not going to come back in the finale, what was the whole point of that? It should have been Joe Martin. Like before Jodie walked out of her TARDIS, Joe Martin should have turned around and went, "Oh, by the way, be careful of the lone Cyberman. Don't give it what it wants." Instead of Jack doing it, because they're not going to bring him back in the finale. What was the whole point of that
I thought they were bringing him back in the finale. I thought he said
no. Chibnall said no. Chibnall said no.
How do you know?
So no Captain Jack.
Lying? We don't know anything until we see the show.
Everybody said he'd be in this episode, and he wasn't.
These people lie. They all lie.
No, do you know what?
Moffat when you're a fan, you've got a lot of hope for things, and you kind of write your own stories.
I'll tell you what now. Moffat never lied. No showrunner really lies. They play with words, and it's what they don't say you've got to listen to. But when they say no, it's definitely a no. And he said absolutely. He said no.
So pretty much like a politician.
So I don't think he's not going to be back this series now.
I hope so. If he's not, I will be very disappointed. I thought that was the point. He said, "I won't be here soon, but I'll be there when she needs me." So
I mean, he said Jack's not back, but that doesn't mean the face of Bo isn't back or anything like that.
Well,
just the face of Bo showing up with a massive Gatling gun, the sky gunning down.
How is that famous the face of Bo going to shoot a Gatling?
I know he's nothing but a big face with a bunch of tentacles.
With a Gatling gun on top of his big tank, he's a telepath.
You have to close his mouth to get it to shoot.
He'd be falling out of the sky and
Oh,
saving
a
the world.
telepath. All right, the face of Bo's a telepath.
Call me BBC, I've got a great idea.
But I still want to know what on earth is going on. What on earth is this timeless child stuff about, and how does it connect with the Cybermen? I mean,
and what is it? And what the heck happened in Ireland?
I've no idea what's going on.
So long time ago.
So many questions. So many questions.
I think he's.
We don't have the.
I think he's the lone Cyberman.
See, I think the lone Cyberman is the Doctor.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Wait. How could you think the lone Cyberman could be the Doctor? Literally,
The lone Cyberman's going to turn out to be Graham, and another one's just a red herring.
Or maybe the lone Cyberman is Peter Capaldi and he's back.
But I do
Capaldi
think,
for
I do
revenge.
think
That's not how the show works. I know.
Wait. Epiphany. So the guy fell off a cliff and then he didn't die. But we didn't see him regenerate. Can he be a Time Lord without that big glowing regeneration?
It depends how hard he fell, to be honest.
Huh. Well, who knows
Time
then?
Lords
Well, he
can
got
choose
shot.
not to regenerate
He
if
got
they don't
shot.
want to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're
He
right.
got
Maybe
shot.
it was, I thought it was the Cybermen helmet thing that Susan said. But maybe you're right. Maybe it was a chameleon.
it's the
heart.
chameleon arch, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Regeneration is a lottery. People always remember that.
But
Regeneration
I
is a
do
lottery.
think what it's going to reveal is that the Time Lords are humans.
I think so too.
I think because they're sending people through. That guy,
But
that old
how
man
do
is.
they get the two hearts and everything else?
I don't think so. I think that they've been because the Time Lords have been around for millions of years in their current state. You know, that's why that was the whole rant from Colin Baker's daughter or Colin Baker's doctor. The whole rant about them being so advanced and having been around for so long that it really made their corruption incredibly painful. So I mean, like, you know, you can't say that.
I agree with Susan. I don't think Chibnall has the balls to retcon an entire.
Oh, I think
Well,
he
I-
does. I think he does.
Balls to what, Jake?
So
Pardon?
What did you say? You didn't
I
hear
don't
me.
think
What?
Chibnall has the guts to retcon such a long history of a show. I reckon it's all going to be a red herring, and it's not going to go nowhere. To be
No,
honest.
I think it is. I think he means it. He's always said that this is going to change Doctor Who,
well,
and I think he's serious.
Well, maybe-
I think there's going to be a lot of divided opinions next week.
oh,
So, Alan,
A hell of a lot.
You put a poster on Facebook, the thing about Jodie's reveal a year ago with the key in the.
The
in
key, yeah, that's in the trailer.
But do you think that has anything to do with this next episode?
Well, it's
we
got to
don't
be. It's in the
know.
trailer.
well.
Trailer
See,
for this episode.
Yeah, that
That was-
key thing is in the that podium's in the trailer. Next time
She
trailer.
goes to a
No,
Gallifreyan
that
key.
was the trailer to reveal Jodie 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's connected. Yeah, that's the
But
same
yeah,
one.
he has a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
How is it connected?
Well, we don't know. We don't know, but it's going to be in
Why
it
do you think it's connected?
because it's in the trailer. It's in the next time trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Okay.
It's in the next time trailer for next week's episode.
Okay, you mean the whole
So-
stone podium?
Yeah, the
thing?
stone post. Yeah, the Master and the Doctor stood in front of it.
No, not the big post. I mean that like that it looks
The
like
stone
almost
thing. Yeah, the
bird
stone.
fountain. No, it looks like almost like a bird fountain with. The,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
on the mountain. Yeah,
I
that's
saw.
in the next time trailer.
I didn't see the bird bath with the key in it.
Yeah, they're stood in front of it. Yeah.
Okay, so
Is it okay if
so-
I bring? Is it okay if I put this quick?
What?
I can't believe they brought up an old moment from the old teaser trailer that was revealing Jodie's Doctor to a episode of Doctor Who that is like, that's for next week. I don't know. That got my interest.
I don't see it because I don't remember that big post. All I remember is
Well,
the bird.
No.
bath.
It was in the original post reveal trailer where the key was on it, and that was before she was revealed. And now it's in next week's episode.
I don't.
Why?
see it in next week's episode.
Why?
Why is it there? Why
don't
is it
see
so
I didn't
important?
see that. There's a trailer for next week's episode. I didn't see that in next week's episode.
Well,
Yeah, it's in the
Bird
trailer.
bath with the key. I didn't see it in there.
Wait, I hope they're gonna make a reference to the trailer. I hope they make a reference to the
Wouldn't
trailer.
it be great if it was also the same podium that they were trying to decipher the writing on in the Five Doctors?
Sure.
No, it's not.
All right.
No.
No, it's not because there's no writing on it.
Any reference to classic Who would be.
We've seen it. There's no writing on it.
Okay, well, as we know, there's Broadchurch. He produced it, so there's going to be a version of a Gallifrey style. We know this already. It doesn't matter.
What?
I said there's going to be a Gallifrey version of Broadchurch because David Tennant was already in that one.
They already had the Gallifrey version of Broadchurch in this episode when they shot the guy and he fell off the cliff.
There you go. See?
There you go.
Done that.
Now it's Olivia Colman.
It was the
There
same.
you go, Olivia Colman. There we go.
She is going to play the Time Lord President.
What? Julie isn't good enough for y'all? What's her name? Julie. I can't find it.
So here's a question. What on earth is going on?
Julie Graham. Yeah, that's a really good question.
What on earth is going on with the Timeless Children?
And you know, I think that we should leave it there and go through and do our final say and score for this episode, and then we'll just leave that question dangling, Alad's question, and we'll see if we can answer
till
it
next week. Yeah.
Yeah, till next week. All right, Alad, please, your final say and score.
Well, it's not as good as last week's, but not many episodes are. I mean, that was really a phenomenal episode. But as an opener to and I'm going to call this a two-parter because it technically is. Last week's was its own. Last week's did feel like its own self-contained story. It rounded off the characters very well. Yes, it connects to this one, but it still felt like if it was one story. Whereas this is definitely a two-parter, and it's definitely carrying on to next week. There was no conclusion. It was just the middle part, really, by the end of it. So, yeah, I'm going to give it an 8, but that is only because, really, I'm waiting to see what happens next week. If next week's is amazing, this will go up. This will go up to a 10. If next week's pulls it off. But if it doesn't, it's going to stay at an 8. So you'll find out next week whether it goes up or whether it just stays the same at an 8. Right. But it's a bit unfair to score it until we finally get the second part. But I'm going to.
All right, you're going to have to remember that you laid it at an 8, and you're having a hook to the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, if the next episode's amazing, then it'll get a 10 overall. Yeah.
All right.
I will remind him.
Final say and score, Susie?
I always find it very difficult to rate the first part of a two-part, or in this case, the middle part of a three-parter, however you want to see it. So I really don't know. I honestly don't know how to rate it. I loved the flying heads. I thought it was cool. There were some really cool moments, other moments that I just can't remember right now. But I don't know how to rate this. I want to say a 6. I want to say an 8. I really just don't know.
All right, well, you can lay both of those out there.
Okay.
All right, Mikey. Final say score.
Okay. You know what? Alan has been catching up with me with my scores lately. I know he's been catching up since the first beginning of this whole podcast or so. So it's going to be remaining a 13 out of 13 for me. As always.
Knew it.
Again.
That's okay.
I wonder what it'll be next week.
Who knows? My thoughts could be changing. Who knows?
Maybe 13,000 out of 13,000.
Oh, you know what? Thank you for that. That's my ratings. Thank you, Susie. Thank you.
13 million.
13 billion.
Hell yeah.
13 trillion out of 13 trillion, darling.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Sorry,
Jakey.
It was a good part 1 of a finale, but I did find it a little bit lackluster in parts, and I'm looking forward to next week. But considering this war has been spoken about in Doctor Who since the 70s, I was a little bit disappointed with what we've seen. But saying that, I'm going to give it an 8.5 because I still there's bits missing from it that would have made it better for me, if that makes sense. So, and it needed a second rewatch. So that's why I'm going to give it an 8.5. I'm not going to give it a 9 or 10.
All right. Alex, would you give your final Sandstorm?
Yeah, I'll give this a 8.7. Hopefully next week will be good. I don't know. Hopefully they'll get the resolve of the strategy. But if there's going to be a special, then they have to resolve this, unless they want it to be different to add
Specials
more
with the
buzz.
Daleks.
Yeah. So again.
Again.
Yes.
All holiday Daleks all the time. The Daleks, Dolly.
And I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I was properly scared. I watched it from underneath my cover here. And I just really enjoyed it. And I love the fam. I really do love their relationships. I love how, they're learning to trust themselves, and their strengths are being empowered further and further. And that's really what I love about Doctor Who, is that anyone who gets close to the Doctor becomes an empowered person, regardless of
Or dies.
Or dies, yeah, exactly.
Or dies. But
they don't die that many times.
like a
They don't
crapshoot.
die that often. What? Who died? What? Adric?
Katrina, Sarah Kingdom.
If we're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
they-
Most of the unit.
all the people in that first episode.
Yeah, but the companions don't really die.
Okay, well, we're talking about companions. Okay.
Bill.
anyway,
Bill
I
didn't die. What are you on about? She's a puddle. She's immortal.
She did die when she got
She's a lesbian.
She's
puddle.
not
What's wrong with
dead.
her?
She's alive. She's well and truly alive.
Barbara.
Barbara's not dead.
Well, she probably is by now.
She's alive. No, it said in the Sarah Jane Adventures that they're Ian Chesterton and Barbara have never aged.
Oh, it must be true.
So anyway, I love the empowerment of the companions and the people who get near the Doctor, and the ones who have suffered the losses are mourned bit by bit, and so that's really cool. So yeah, join us next week, a week from today. We will be posting the God, Susie. We'll be posting the finale, which is called, hang on a
The
moment,
Timeless Children.
The Timeless Children.
I still want to know why.
And
Why?
yeah, why children? Why not just
Why
child?
Why?
children?
Yeah.
Why?
And
We've been teased
we
with
will-
a timeless child, but now this is turned into the timeless children.
now there's more than one.
And the children. I don't know. I should
You
put
know.
bourbon in my tea when I do these things.
You put what in your tea?
Bourbon.
If you need to drink while doing podcasts with me, hon, I'm sorry.
No, sweetie, not me.
Oh no! I know what I was going to mention. Everybody got. I think everybody got their hopes up because the BBC were teasing that the companions were going to get converted, and I think everybody got really.
Well, that can still happen.
No. But in this episode, everybody got really like, oh yeah, they're going to get converted. They're going to get
They
converted.
said Jack said he was coming back.
They're in those chairs. They're in those chairs. They're definitely conversion chairs. And I just knew the BBC weren't going to spoil that if that was the case. So I knew they had to be controlling something. I knew they weren't conversion chairs. There's no way they would spoil that. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Lies. The BBC lies. So we've learned that.
So, but I did like the new Cyberman ships.
The new Cybermen ships, the little ones or the big one?
Well, both. They're on the ships. They're
I
called
don't remember
Cyberman
seeing
ships.
that thing that they like use their hands to maneuver it before.
I've seen that on other sci-fi shows.
No, in our sci-fi show.
Oh no, not Doctor Who. No. But I've seen that on
Kind of.
other side versions.
Kind of, it was where Rory and his dad were flying the Silurian ship.
That wasn't a cyber ship, though.
No, I know, but they did.
Oh, was
this,
that what it was? It a similar? Can't remember. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah, back in the Hungry Earth, wasn't it? Yeah, that's another Chibnall episode.
Is it?
Yeah, Hungry Earth with the
I didn't know.
Silurians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Sea Devils. Don't get excited, Jake.
No, not Sea Devils.
Jake really wants the Sea Devils back.
Yeah,
Get
Devils.
our watchers because
is-
he's got a strong sense that they have not got their fair share. So
Yes, hello to Cher. Shout out to Cher. But Chibnall also watches this, so would you like to make your plea now, Jake, to him to bring back the Sea Devils?
Hook me up, Chibnall. I can give you good story ideas. Bring back
No,
the
that wasn't a play. No, make your plea to have the Sea Devils back.
Bring back the Sea Devils and don't make them lizard lesbians. Thank you.
Stand Jake, everyone. Stand and support Jake. Preach.
Jake,
Can't stand
Jake.
them.
Jake, sweetie, Chibdall's never going to watch this.
well, if
Of
he
course,
does,
Chibnall
whatever.
watches this. Look, if Cher watches this, Chibnall's definitely watching
Oh,
this.
come on. Cher does not watch this.
She does. She's even tweeted that she watches this.
Oh, come on.
Have you not seen the evidence?
No, I have not seen the evidence.
Right, I'll
People
put-
watch
That
as
would
a
make my day, because believe me, I kiss the ground Cher walks on. But she
Actually, I forgot. I did promote this whole series on my Discord server, and I told them, guys, I'm on this podcast called Geeks Assembled, and go
I'm
ahead
really
and check
glad.
if you want.
Thank you. That's really cool.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
would we just like to remind you to please share this widely and hit your like and subscribe. Share it with Cher. That's right, Alex. Hit
Only if
the
you're
bell,
strong enough to
Yeah.
where we're out is
hit
strong
the
enough.
bell, please, and also come back in a week. You know, stay tuned for one next week. We're gonna go on and we'll resolve whether or not Alex his grading his score has to go up or down.
Well, it won't go
Or-
down. It won't go below 8, but it could go up. It won't go lower because I still really love the episode. But it could go up.
And join us on social media. We're doing polls again for what we're doing, so you can have your say as to what we review next. And then if we review what you want us to, you can be stay tuned for that, or you can join us on those.
Yes.
So please look forward to seeing some more of you guys on podcast. But I love these guys who I'm podcasting with right now, guys and gal. We're having so much fun, and
I'm gonna miss these when it's finished.
well, I think we're gonna move on and do something like Torchwood or Sarah Jane Adventures. Or
Oh, the Sarah Jane Adventures. Yeah. Oh my God.
so yeah, let's come back together in a week,
Let's
okay,
have a song.
fellas? No. Let's come back together in a week, and we'll see you later, okay?
Oh, wait there.
Yes.
Right.
Well, see you in a week. See you in a
See you
week.
next week.
See you next week. For
Delete.
our next Doctor Who
Delete.
episode.
I love the fact that they said delete again.
Delete. Yeah, that was awesome.
Which is amazing.
Delete.
That was a really good callback. I loved it when they did that. Yeah. All right, then we're off now. Toodles.
My socks say delete too.
Delete.
Yeah.